7 different languages to more than 500 million viewers each week. The World Wrestling Federation, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment.
With a 20-minute time limit, approaching the ring from Puerto Rico at a total combined weight of 1,104 pounds. Fabio, Jesus, Jose, and Miguel Boricuas.
And a very pleasant good morning to you, everybody, and welcome to WWF New York. Jim Ross, Jim Cornette here at ringside.
Boy, I like that Boricuas music. Just wish I knew all the words. It's easy to dance to. I'd rate it a 72.
Well, this is not supposed to be a New York City street fight here on WWF New York, but I got a feeling it may turn into one.
Well, when you got the Boricuas and they're already dressed for one, and then here comes the DOA. You never know what's going to happen. I just hope they don't run over somebody with the mics.
Combined weight of 1,189 pounds. Crunch, Chainz, Equal, and Skull of the Cycle of Apocalypse.
This one certainly will not be a pretty contest. Quite the rivalry between Los Boricuas and the DOA. And folks, right here this week on WWF New York, we're going to see tag team action featuring the Interrogator. I'm going to talk to the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, who just may become the next WWF champion as well.
Plus, Brian Christopher is going to be here in action. And we'll take a look back at last Monday night's Raw when Sergeant Slaughter sent a message to DX. Mark Merrow called out Butterbean. And an interview with Vince McMahon, JR, that you conducted, nobody will ever forget. We're going to have a clip of that as well in the show today.
We'll also show you footage from last Saturday's Madison Square Garden event. We'll talk more about Raw is War coming to the Nassau Coliseum on Monday, December the 29th. And by the way, tickets for that event are going very, very rapidly. So you picked a great Saturday to be with us here on WWF New York. And it will be Miguel Perez and Chainz beginning this 8-man contest that could erupt at any moment.
Whoa!
And already, Miguel using those right hands and got nailed coming in by Chainz.
Boy, Miguel started out, oh, Chainz just cut him a flip. Miguel started out like a buzzsaw, and Chainz managed to stop the momentum, got back in control, and now the double team.
Double team indeed, and Miguel makes the tag. He'll bring in Jesus Castillo, whose father, Hurricane Castillo, was a tremendous star in Puerto Rico for many, many years.
And the speed of Jesus is why that he inherited the nickname Hurricane, because he's the quickest of the Boricuas. Look at this, running, ducking, dodging, and striking.
Jesus quickens a pace, but misses the elbow. We think that's Skull, but it may be 8-ball.
There's no way to tell for sure. All the Boricuas except for Savio Vega. Watch this sidewalk slam. Cover.
1, 2, and the first near fall in this matchup.
All the Boricuas except for Savio's second-generation wrestlers. Of course, Jose's father, Jose Estrada. Miguel's father, Miguel Perez Sr., great partner of Argentina Rocca. And, of course, Jesus Castillo, the son of Hurricane Castillo. But look at now, the generals. Savio and Crush, they want each other, JR.
They certainly do. Remember, Savio and Crush were once teammates with the Nation of Domination. And when you talk about faction warfare in the WWF, certainly quite the turf war ensuing. And Crush now and Savio are hooking it up here.
And Crush and Savio were in on the ground floor of that faction warfare in the WWF. Oh, look at that! Martial arts expert, Savio Vega.
Spinning heel kick by Savio Vega. taking the giant Crush off his feet, and Savio, who can be as vicious as anybody in the WWF. These guys have quite the reputation in South Bronx. As Crush now being measured and pummeled. I'll tell you what, you can almost feel the volatility of this 8-man matchup. And Savio knocked down not once but twice by Crush. And what a clothesline!
There he goes, Savio Vega out of the ring.
Oh, we've got a big problem here, folks. We'll be right back.
It's the single greatest event in sports entertainment. WrestleMania, the grand spectacle, the showcase of the immortals. Now, you can relive every moment of every WrestleMania with this commemorative box set video collection. Beginning with the historic birth of this grand tradition at New York's famed Madison Square Garden. The legendary encounter between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant in front of a record 93,173 fans in the Silver Dome. A battle of champions at the Sky Dome between Hulk and the Ultimate Warrior. The unforgettable Iron Man match when Shawn Michaels defeated Bret Hart for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. It's all here. All the memories, all the magic, all the glitz and glamour of all 13 WrestleManias. To order this historic video collection, call 815-734-1161 or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. This video box set is just $79.99 plus shipping and handling. Call now.
We're back on WWF New York. Los Boricuas DOA 8-man tag team matchup. And while the referee's attention has been diverted, Los Boricuas really on the assault here.
Well, they were doing a street corner mugging over there. They learned that in the South Bronx. That neighborhood's so tough, the muggers don't shoot you. They insert the bullets manually.
I don't expect to see Oprah Winfrey in the South Bronx this week. You know, she's in the New York City taking her program.
Spun him around like a top. Savio trying to recover. Belly to back.
One of the few wrestling moves we've seen in this 8-man tag team matchup.
Who's going to get the tag that they both desperately need? They're not even conscious to try to motivate toward their corners. Savio shaking the cobwebs out.
Folks, still to come here. We'll be telling you all about this Monday's Raw, where Shawn Michaels is going to challenge Bret Hart. You heard that correctly. More on that in the hour. Crush has got a tag, and Crush is hitting anything that moves.
And everybody, and here comes Chainz, here comes 8-Ball or Skull. There goes everybody. It's breaking loose, JR.
Referee Tim White is rapidly losing control of this 8-man tag team matchup. Crush and Jesus are the legal men. Crush has Jesus pinned here.
They're fighting all over the building.
Crush trying to get the referee's attention. And now Jesus with a DDT on Crush. Will that be all?
That's got to be it. He never saw it coming, Crush didn't.
No, not 3 this time. They're fighting all around us.
Watch out over here on the right. And there goes Jesus and Crush with a switch.
And Chainz from behind nailed Jesus. The tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Crush.
With authority. 2, 3.
And the DOA will win this 8-man tag team matchup.
It was almost a fluke, but the DOA come up with a victory over Los Boricuas.
Well, it wasn't pretty to say the least. And watch this cheap shot on the outside by Chainz.
Jesus went for the arm whip. There was a switch. Boom. The clothesline in the back of the head and the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And Crush defeats Jesus to get the win for DOA. What a fight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see quite the fight on Monday night, December the 29th in the Nassau Coliseum, when Raw will be war. 8-man tag team action. The Undertaker, Stone Cold, Vader, and Dude Love meet the Nation of Domination, and great seats are available now at the Nassau Coliseum box office in all area ticket master outlets. This is one night you do not want to miss. Get your tickets early, and when we return, Rocky Maivia will join D'Lo Brown when D'Lo takes on Flash Funk.
And later on, the massive Interrogator teams with the Jackyl in tag team competition.
Plus, light heavyweight tournament favorite Brian Christopher will be in action.
And we're going to take a look back at last Saturday's event at Madison Square Garden. We'll show you some exclusive highlights and some of the most enthusiastic
BK rules! Ultra 316 rules!
I know what you're thinking.
I'm not a real athlete. I'm just a wrestler. I'm 6'10", 328 pounds. I was a consensus
Played
All-American.
football for the Dallas Cowboys.
My jersey was retired at Florida State.
I was the ultimate fighting champion.
When you step through those ropes, bad things do happen.
Had over 200 stitches.
I've suffered a dozen concussions.
Broken bones.
I've separated shoulders.
Damn near broke my neck.
Blown out knees.
But I still got up.
This is who I am.
This is what I do.
I'm not really an athlete.
This isn't real.
Try lacing my boots.
Welcome back, everyone, to WWF New York.
And his opponent, accompanied by fellow Nation member Rocky Maivia, weighing 273 pounds, from the Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown to meet Flash Funk here one-on-one, and let us make one thing perfectly clear. Rocky Maivia is not the Intercontinental Champion.
But he does possess the Intercontinental Championship belt as a result of what happened last Monday. Steve Austin challenged Rocky Maivia to come to the ring, but everybody but Rocky came. And while Austin was fighting the Nation off, Rocky, quicker than a hiccup, grabbed that belt and headed for higher ground. And now Rocky Maivia not holding the belt at present, but has it in his possession somewhere.
Rocky Maivia will meet Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Intercontinental Champion, on December the 7th in Springfield, Massachusetts at D-Generation X in your house. And this crowd here with a very unflattering chant directed toward Rocky Maivia.
Well, I tell you, D'Lo Brown is going to have his hands full, and vice versa. Flash Funk will as well. This is going to be a great contest. D'Lo Brown showed it's all for one and one for all in the Nation. He sacrificed himself last Monday so Steve Austin would be distracted and Rocky Maivia could get that belt.
D'Lo Brown with a size and strength advantage here over Flash Funk. Funk very, very quick, and Flash
Took his eye off the ball.
He took his eye off the ball, and he fumbled right there. And D'Lo Brown, quick to take advantage of that mistake. D'Lo with a hard elbow right to the face of Flash Funk. And D'Lo Brown, 273-pound, college-educated CPA by profession.
That's right, he left a job with a huge corporation as an accountant to get into the sport of wrestling, making $200 a week, riding around in the ring truck, setting up the wrestling ring. And that was only 3 years ago. Flash Funk has the experience advantage on D'Lo, but D'Lo is the closest thing to a natural that I've seen come along in this sport in a long time.
Flash Funk with great athleticism and a drop kick. Tremendous drop kick by Flash Funk. And D'Lo Brown now is in trouble. Flash follows the drop kick with a knife edge chop, but D'Lo uses that weight advantage to counter. Look at the quickness of Flash Funk.
Boy, you've got to admire both these guys. They move. They have, oh, Flash Funk.
Crossbody. Will this be enough? And D'Lo powered out at 2.
For both their size, especially D'Lo Brown at his size, he moves like a cat. Flash Funk will always surprise you, and these guys are taking out all the stops, trying to get an advantage.
Another drop kick by Flash Funk as this crowd chants bad things directed toward the man that would like to be Intercontinental Champion. Baseball slide right here in front of us.
Watch that. If Flash Funk looks like he's going to dive, watch it, JR. Oh, he blocked himself. D'Lo moved out of the way.
D'Lo Brown keeping his distance from the risk-taking Flash Funk. And we talked about Rocky Maivia meeting Stone Cold Steve Austin on December the 7th. Wait a minute.
Watch Flash. Springboards up. What? Oh!
Flash Funk taking another chance. And it paid off this time. And here comes Rocky Maivia, who has yet to be physically involved in this matchup. But Maivia sneaking around.
Wait a minute. That prophecy came true.
What a right hand.
The Rock, as he likes to be called and demands to be called, even by himself, he speaks in the royal we. The Rock just rocked Flash Funk. Take a look again at Flash. He came off there and he splattered D'Lo Brown.
We were talking about Rocky challenging Austin for the Intercontinental title on December the 7th in Springfield, Massachusetts, on a night that 4 titles will be decided. I know a lot of folks in the tri-state area will be taking a short trip up to Springfield on Sunday, December the 7th for D-Generation X in your house. More on that in this hour. And Flash Funk now.
He's got D'Lo weebling and wobbling.
And Flash, again, going to the air, using his quickness and his aerial ability to take his larger opponent off his feet.
Well, they are on the seesaw right now, and Flash Funk looks like he's going for another kick. D'Lo blocks it.
Oh, he blocked it and turned into a power bomb. What a counter move by D'Lo Brown, and that's where that upper body strength advantage comes into play. Will this be all 2.5?
What tremendous strength. D'Lo should have made a tighter cover. He blocked that kick there, picked the man up, and powerbombed him down. And if he hadn't been so stunned himself and had a tighter cover, he may have gotten that victory.
D'Lo Brown showing why it's important, if you have the strength or size advantage, to be able to utilize it. You know, this nation of domination is an entity built on athleticism and intelligence. Whether you agree or disagree with their particular political views is absolutely irrelevant. They're a very, very impressive entity, and again, the youngest member, I think he's the youngest member of the group, D'Lo Brown with a clothesline, lateral press.
It would be a pretty close tie between him and Rocky Maivia, but they're both in their 20s. They both got their primes in front of them, but D'Lo Brown has already come out to show that he can be one of the most powerful forces in the nation.
What a move there. Look at the expression on D'Lo Brown's face.
Seeing those sparkly things going off in his head, Flash has an opening.
Flash Funk, lateral press. Got a near fall, and Flash would have liked to have had a little faster count from referee Earl Hebner.
Same thing The Rock is saying. Come on, referee, count the man.
The Rock.
Block the kick again. Oh, look at that.
What a move. What a high impact counter move by D'Lo Brown.
Unbelievable face first, reverse, modified DDT. I'd love to see if he has a name for it. D'Lo's gonna fly.
And D'Lo with a springboard moonsault.
Unfortunately, Flash Funk left town. Watch this, blocks the kick, grabs the back of the head and face first to the mat. Unbelievable, but he did not capitalize with the moonsault that missed the mark.
You gotta be impressed with the resiliency of Flash Funk here. And Funk and D'Lo Brown having quite the contest here on WWF New York. There's a suplex that just drove the air right out of D'Lo Brown, and now Flash Funk's gonna fly. Flash with a moonsault, and he hit it. It should be over.
Maivia on the apron, distracted the referee.
The Rock has interrupted the count. The Rock may be costing Flash Funk the victory.
Earl Hebner, the referee, tried to go down and make a count, but by then Flash was getting up, and now look at D'Lo. He's got the chance to take it home. Electric chair.
D'Lo Brown with an indirect assist from The Rock, able to regain the advantage here. This match has been a seesaw affair since the onset, and now it will be D'Lo Brown going upstairs.
Whoa!
And he comes down. He comes down, and not the way he had planned.
He definitely fell down those stairs, and now Flash Funk looks like is he going for a Hurricane Run or something off the top? He gets pushed off.
Flash wanted the Hurricane Run.
Frog Splash.
And the 273-pound Frog Splash, and D'Lo Brown has won this match.
Here is your winner, D'Lo Brown.
Tremendous victory for D'Lo Brown. He is a superstar. A credit to the nation. Nice job, D'Lo, whether you like him or not. He's an athlete.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, still to come here on WWF New York. Exclusive footage from last Saturday's mega event in Madison Square Garden.
Plus, the giant interrogator of the Truth Commission teams up with the Jackyl.
And when we return, the commissioner lays down the law to Triple H. Don't go away.
Now on the WWF Superstar line, the shocking rumors about Goldust's new love interest. Who or what did he leave Marlena for? Jim Ross has all the details on the situation, so call option 3, the Ross Report, and find out. Just call 1-900-7374-WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute, and kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling.
Welcome back to WWF New York. WWF D-Generation X is presented by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters. And it happens in just 2 weeks, just up the road in Springfield, Massachusetts.
And as a part of that card, Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley takes on Sergeant Slaughter, one-on-one, man-on-man. It was just this past Monday night in the war zone that the bitter feelings between DX and Sergeant Slaughter came to a head, a violent head, personally insulted. Having his wife and family personally insulted, Sergeant Slaughter could take no more. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley retaliated from the slap to the face with a briefcase to the back of the commissioner's head. And then DX went to work with China, even taking her shots. Sergeant Slaughter was humiliated. He was publicly embarrassed, and he was physically attacked by the Degeneration X degenerates. Well, Slaughter could take no more, even at 49 years of age, even though he's been retired for quite some time. As a man, he had to challenge, he had to face Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and that will take place on December the 7th. As well, the WWF title on the line. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, defends against the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. And here he comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
He deserves that nickname, folks. He left home at the age of 10. He lived in his car when he was a teenager. He learned to fight on the streets. He got his life back together. And in the past couple of months, he's made Vader, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H all tap out. Can he make Shawn Michaels submit with the title on the line?
Ken, on December the 7th, you have the greatest opportunity that you've ever had here in the WWF when you challenge Shawn Michaels for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. I want to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, on a personal basis, what are your own thoughts? What are your own feelings on Shawn Michaels?
Well, there's one thing that I've done all my life, and that's fight. I've earned my respect through fighting. That is what I am, and that's what I will always be. The only thing that I ever asked for was respect. And the only way I got it was through blood, sweat, and tears. As far as Shawn Michaels is concerned, the degenerate or Degeneration X or whatever the hell he is, he has no respect for anybody or anything. And come time when I step in the ring with Shawn Michaels on December 7th, he will learn the word respect Ken Shamrock's way.
And my second question, looking at that matchup, how do you feel you're going to strategize and wrestle that match against Michaels? What are you looking to do other than obviously become the WWF champion?
Shawn Michaels, I'm not Bret Hart. And when I step in the ring against you, I'm going to put a hurting on him. I'm going to beat him down to a bloody pulp, and then I'm going to slap a submission on him and make him cry like a baby.
December 7th is the date. Can the world's most dangerous man become the WWF champion? Is that the face of the man who will lead the WWF into the 21st century? We'll find out. And still to come here on WWF New York, light heavyweight favorite Brian Christopher in action. Boom! And also, an exclusive look back at last Saturday's event at Madison Square Garden with DX running wild. And when we return, the Interrogator and Jackyl in tag team action. Don't you dare go away.
And now, prepare for the Laser Tag Slam of the Week. Laser Tag, the only game that lets you power up for the ultimate laser jolt.
Shamrock for the waist lock, and there's a belly-to-belly suplex. The world's most dangerous man just drove Helmsley right into the canvas. When Shamrock snaps, he cannot be handled. He is a suplex master. Look at this.
That was the laser tag slam of the week. Power up for the ultimate laser jolt. The future is now. Laser tag.
Welcome back. This morning, WWF New York is brought to you by Foot Action. For every action, there's foot action.
And by Jax. Collect Superstar Series number 5 from Jax. Available at most retailers.
Well, there you see the Interrogator along with the Jackyl, and the Jackyl certainly doesn't look like he's ready for combat, James.
Well, it is Jackyl and Interrogator scheduling the tag team match against Dave Dalton and Larry Brunn. It doesn't appear like Jackyl is too anxious to get involved. Boy, what a guy. What a bizarre individual. Don't drink the Kool-Aid from this guy.
Yeah, really. Is he Jim Jones? Is he David Koresh? And good grief, he's headed our way.
Well, hello, how you doing, Jackyl?
Back again, JC.
I'm beginning to feel so honored. You always pick the chair next to me and never pick the chair next to JR.
I feel that's a bit of my good fortune. I'd just like to say what a great opportunity for me to address the great wretched refuse out there who no doubt right now are turning up the volumes on their TV set to hear the verbal honey ooze from my mouth one more time.
How come you're not in your wrestling tights and teaming with this Interrogator? That's what this match is
I was going to bring up a point here that you are actually a participant in this match. You're his partner. You're supposed to be wrestling.
That may be true, but like lambs to the slaughter, I have to look on these two poor sinners right here and say, I have to have some mercy. If I were in there, it would be even more devastating than it's already going to be.
The Interrogator, who stands 7 feet tall, ladies and gentlemen, well over 350 pounds, and he has been one of the most dominant new forces to come along in the World Wrestling Federation in perhaps a decade.
JR, the only thing standing between the WWF and an insurance litigation disaster thus far has been myself. It is I who keep the shackles of restraint on the Big G, the Interrogator, because the day that he snaps, that I allow that to happen, there will be blood in the streets.
Well, two things I got to ask you. Number one, please keep, if you're going to have any of that verbal honey oozing, please keep it over there on that side of the desk. And secondly...
You might like the way it tastes, JC.
Yeah, it probably would.
What is your... Wait a minute, look at this guy. Both these men trying to take the Interrogator down. What is your relationship with these men on a personal basis? Do you call them friends? Are they followers?
They're
what
apostles,
are they to you?
is what they are to me. They are my apostles, my disciples, my followers. They are my true believers.
Oh! Double knocker there on Dalton and Brunn by the Interrogator, who has been completely dominant here. This has been very little more than obviously a handicap matchup. This Interrogator, who wears a size 19 boot, as a matter of fact, one of the biggest, most powerful men, and he's in great physical condition, James E.
Well, look at that. I mean, you know, the huge neck, you can barely tell where his head stops and his neck starts. It's the same width. The tremendous upper body development. And wait a minute, he better watch out. He needs eyes in the back of his head. Ooh.
It's like playing catch at the park, Jim Cornette.
With these, the Interrogator catches Dalton coming off the top rope like Dalton was Max Mini.
I've said it before, the Interrogator is the biggest man in the World Wrestling Federation. He fears only one thing, and that is to look into my eyes and see disappointment.
Why would a man 7 feet tall look into your eyes, see disappointment, and be scared?
The fact is that most humans use less than 4% of their brain capacity. I'm clearly in the 99th percentile. My hold over them is simply through the spoken word because they believe.
I often wonder, too, if they're getting all the money that they're earning.
You're obsessed with money.
Uh-oh, look at this.
JR, there you go once
look at
again.
This power. A double sidewalk slam. I have never seen that before.
I have to go and fulfill a prophecy, JR. Thank you very much.
There he goes.
Oh, thank you. It's
right when you get work.
Been wonderful. Hey, don't question this man's income tax returns about where the money is going, because I don't want to find out what happens if he gets audited because of you and me.
Well, now look at the Jackyl now. He wants to make a tag after the 7-foot monster has done the damage with a double sidewalk slam.
And Jackyl, what is he doing? He's going down. He's going to cover both of them, one hand apiece. And Dalton and Brunn glad to get that over with.
Here are your winners.
Jackyl gets the victory.
Of the Jackyl and the Interrogator.
And pleased about it.
I'm telling you one thing. This Jackyl is a dangerous man, and so's that monster.
Well, Jackyl's a thoroughly dangerous man mentally, and the Interrogator is dangerous physically. Interrogator set him up, and Jackyl finished him off. And JR, you threw some speedball questions, some really hard questions, at the WWF CEO Vince McMahon last week. Let's go back and take a look at that interview.
Let's cut right to the chase. 7 days ago at the Survivor Series, did you or did you not screw Bret Hart?
Some would say I screwed Bret Hart. Bret Hart would definitely tell you I screwed him. I look at it from a different standpoint. I look at it from the standpoint of the referee did not screw Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels certainly did not screw Bret Hart. Nor did Vince McMahon screw Bret Hart. I truly believe that Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. And he can look in the mirror and know that.
I'm sure in some parts of the country right now there's a collective groan that you're not accepting responsibility, that you orchestrated the situation, and the fact that people are not going to understand what you mean by Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart. So what do you mean by that?
Well, I will certainly take responsibility for any decision I've ever made. I've never had a problem doing that. Not that all of my decisions are accurate. They're not. But when I make a bad decision, I'm not above saying I'm sorry and trying to do the best about it that I can. Hopefully the batting average is pretty good. I make more good decisions than I do bad decisions. And as far as screwing Bret Hart is concerned, there's a time-honored tradition in the wrestling business that when someone is leaving, that they show the right amount of respect to the WWF superstars in this case, who helped make you that superstar. You show the proper respect to the organization that helped you become who you are today. It's a time-honored tradition, and Bret Hart didn't want to honor that tradition. And that's something I would have never, ever expected from Bret, because he is known somewhat as a traditionalist in this business. It would have never crossed my mind that Bret would not have wanted to show the right amount of respect to the superstars who helped make him, and the organization who helped make him what he is today. Nonetheless, that was Bret's decision. Bret screwed Bret.
Some folks along the internet know that in 1996, Bret signed a 20-year contract with the WWF. Then I'm sure there are some at home now, some folks are saying, well, how could Bret Hart be, he's got 18 years left on the contract. How can he leave? Did Bret Hart ask you to leave the WWF? Or did you ask him to leave the WWF?
This was a joint decision, and it vacillated somewhat as well when we were making the decision. It was a joint decision from both Bret and me. And ultimately what happened was that the two of us got together and orchestrated the opportunity for Ted Turner's wrestling organization to, quote, steal Bret. I felt that for business reasons, if Bret Hart and the salary we were paying him was not justified. And Bret felt that for creative reasons, and in fact that he had become sort of second banana in his own mind to Shawn Michaels, who had, quote, stolen his spot. So for financial reasons on my part and creative reasons on Bret Hart's part, the two of us got together and decided, okay, let's do the very best we can for you, Bret. So the two of us orchestrated Bret Hart receiving a 3-year deal in which he is paid $3 million a year, which I believe is the richest deal in all of professional wrestling. And that's working 125 days a year. So I felt from a personal standpoint that if Bret wasn't a great investment any longer for the WWF, although I really didn't want him to go, but nonetheless, that the least I could do for Bret is to help him help himself. And I told Bret, if in fact you do get this deal from Turner, I'm going to be the very first person personally to congratulate you. And I was. From a business standpoint, I didn't really want to lose Bret. He wasn't paying off from a financial standpoint, but nonetheless, I really didn't want to lose Bret.
Welcome back, everybody, to WWF New York. Last Monday on Raw, the Tough Man champion Butterbean once again showed up and was challenged by Mark Merrow.
Well, evidently Mark Merrow has turned into a jealous maniac, and it's all over Sable. He thinks Butterbean is either staring at or stalking Sable. Well, he challenged the Tough Man contest winner and professional boxer to get in the ring, and whereupon he shoved him, and Butterbean ended up putting Merrow flat on his keister in the middle of the ring. As a result of this incident, Butterbean and Mark Merrow will meet at In Your House Degeneration X December 7 in a 4-round Tough Man fight.
That's going to be an interesting confrontation, to say the least, just up the road in Springfield, Massachusetts. Devon Storm is in the ring, and here comes his opponent.
Weighing 212 pounds, too sexy, Brian Christopher.
I think the Fink really likes saying too sexy.
I think he does it with way too much emotion, but Brian Christopher is too sexy, and he's also my pick to win that light heavyweight championship tournament. But bear in mind, Dangerous Devon Storm, his opponent here on this program, is a up-and-coming light heavyweight, is a young man, wants to make a name for himself, wants to earn a reputation, and an upset over Brian Christopher would earn him that name and that reputation.
There's a look at the tournament graphic. There is one first-round matchup remaining. Flash Flanagan to meet Brian Christopher. This Monday on Raw will be on the USA Network live from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And interestingly enough, this Monday night, I understand that Shawn Michaels is going to call out Bret the Hitman Hart. Now, what's that all about, James?
Well, JR, it's a fact of life that you know Bret Hart is still under contract to the WWF until the end of November. And Shawn Michaels, ever the opportunist, is seizing on that. He has called out Bret the Hitman Hart. He wants a face-to-face confrontation to settle the score on live television this Monday night. Whether he'll get it, I don't know, but hey, the way this screwy business is going these days, anything can happen. And you know what Bret Hart's ego is like.
Well, it could be a most interesting night, to say the least, this Monday night live on the USA Network. And the fans down in Tar Heel that'll be joining us in the new Cumberland County Coliseum, I'm sure will be jacked up for that big event this Monday. And nice reversal there by Brian Christopher. And a nip-up by Devon Storm. Brian Christopher, a light heavyweight that is obviously the personal favorite of James E. Cornette, but there is no guarantee that Brian Christopher is going to be able to wrestle his way to the finals of the light heavyweight tournament on December the 7th.
He's going to have to win 3 matches to get that belt around his waist. And I think Brian Christopher can do it. There's a lot of great competition. Taka Michinoku, beautiful leg sweep, and again by Devon Storm.
Lateral press, and Devon Storm neglecting to hook the leg. Quite frankly, as the old cliche goes for Devon Storm, he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain here.
Exactly, but Taka Michinoku in the tournament. Brian Christopher in the tournament. There is some great competition, but Brian Christopher doing a smart thing here today. He's wrestling a man in Devon Storm who is built very similar and has a similar style to Flash Flanagan, who's his opponent in the first round match Monday night.
Christopher taking Storm nose first to the top turnbuckle.
Shut your mouth. It's hard not to hit that guy's nose. I mean, look at that beak, that proboscis on Storm.
And nobody there for Brian Christopher on the drop kick. And Devon Storm over. And the leg drop. Somersault leg drop with a little slingshot action there.
Boy, Brian Christopher is on Dream Street right now. He doesn't know which way to go. And watch Devon Storm. It's why they call him dangerous. A tope con hilo.
Arriba.
I love ever since I started talking to Victor Quinones and got all them Mexican terms down straight.
What the forearm there by Devon Storm, and Brian Christopher taking a pounding. And Christopher sets his self and is able to elevate Devon Storm to the floor.
Right on the tailbone, you can see the pain etched across the face of Devon Storm.
Brian Christopher now back up on the ring apron. What's he going to do here? Christopher measuring Storm, and there's a drop kick.
Right off the ring apron. Boy, I'll tell you what, Brian Christopher is pulling out all the stops. He's really getting geared up for this berth in the tournament.
There's another look at that drop kick, James.
You see Christopher came right off the apron and just kicked Devon Storm right in the head with both feet, but if Christopher had made a miscalculation, it could have hurt him worse than Storm.
Still to come here on WWF New York, exclusive footage from last Saturday's tremendous event in Madison Square Garden. And of course, we're back in the area for Raw is War on Monday, December 29th at the Nassau Coliseum. Nice movement, Full Nelson, leg trip, quite the takedown. And the hyena-like Brian Christopher proving once again that the acorn doesn't fall too far from the tree as the son of Jerry the King Lawler goes up top.
He doesn't like that, JR, and Devon Storm goes down below. Devon Storm recovers from that face-first full Nelson. Boy, when Brian Christopher grapevined that leg and had his arms up, there was no place for Storm to break the fall, but Storm now has a new life.
Storm downstairs with a kick right to the abdomen, the front face lock, turns it into a suplex, and twisted the suplex in midair to drop Brian Christopher right on his face. A very unique suplex that is certainly worth another look here.
Boy, you can see that he picks him up like a vertical suplex, but spins him and drops him into a gourd buster face first with the man's weight working against him.
Oh, the Hurricane Rana. Big time move by Storm. Christopher now is in a bad way. Wait a minute. Well, Devon Storm, if he'd have hooked the leg right there, you got to admit, James, that was a lax cover on Storm's part.
That's a mistake that comes from inexperience. As he gets older, he'll learn, but it may have cost him here.
On those lateral presses, you got to go body to body. Here comes another Hurricane Rana. Oh, it's blocked! It's blocked! And what a stupendous power bomb by Brian Christopher, blocking the Hurricane Rana.
Storm went for it, and he went for it all, and Brian Christopher took it away from him. It's got to be academic now, but Christopher, insult to injury.
Tennessee Jam right across the collarbone. And Brian Christopher, maybe the top light heavyweight in the game, is victorious again.
Devon Storm has got to be hurt. A tremendous fall, a tremendous blow to the back of the head as you look at the replay. He went for the Hurricane Rana. Christopher hooked him and sat right down from the top rope, and then the Tennessee Jam spelled the end for Dangerous Devon.
And speaking of Tennessee, Tennessee's Jeff Jarrett will be with us on Raw this Monday night. But when we return, folks, we'll take a special look back at last Saturday afternoon's big event in Madison Square Garden. Don't you dare go away.
In any language, in any country, electronic karate fighters with morphing action, the worldwide leader in hand-to-hand combat games.
Tonight, the Iron Claw will be in the clutches of Sonny, while Serpent Strike is the choice of Adam and George.
And now, the 1997 Karate Fighters Holiday Tournament.
Welcome everyone to Karate Fighters is War! What do you think, Jumbo Jim?
Man, it's gonna be a slobber knocker. Well, let's get right to the action.
So, George, where's my buddy Adam today?
Where's Adam's getaway from the victory party?
Victory party! You
It looks like he's gonna... Wait a minute! Raise your... Oh my goodness!
Win! Let's take another look.
Stop it! Wait! Get started! Oh, did you see that?
We'll have more on the Superstar line tonight. Get a free limited edition WWF poster with the purchase of any Milton Bradley Karate Fighters game, exclusively at Toys R Us while supplies last. In-store coupon required.
Well, let's rock, Two Bells. The official WWF action figures with bone-crunching action. So these girls want a slam dance? Well... What a rush! Triple Threat, featuring exclusive Yokozuna, only at KB stores.
Well, welcome back, folks, to WWF New York. Last Saturday, the WWF returned to the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden, where over 15,000 fans witnessed a spectacular afternoon of World Wrestling Federation action. The Legion of Doom proved once again that they are the kings of tag team competition.
The Mighty Minis demonstrated that when they start flying around the ring, nobody is safe in or out of the squared circle. Well, Dude Love drove in from his mom's, old Mrs. Foley on Long Island, and brought along George, the Animal Steel, still up to his old tricks, but what else would you expect from this WWF Hall of Famer? Oh, what a hug.
As usual, ladies and gentlemen, D-Generation X was at the center of attention, creating havoc throughout the entire card. Chyna even got in the mix and showed that she can hang with the big boys too. But later, Chyna would surely get her due.
But in the meantime, the Brooklyn Brawler got his due. DX went on to battle Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker in a tag team war, and the Rattlesnake proved he's in championship form, while The Undertaker's strength within the dark side is more powerful than imaginable. Through it all, DX was cockier than ever and incited the passionate crowd into a frenzy.
After a full afternoon, many in attendance were anticipating the huge live Raw event coming to the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island.
Can't wait to see Raw is War, December 29th, Nassau Coliseum. Yeah. I can't wait to go to Raw is War. All I want for Christmas is tickets to Raw is War. I can't wait to see Stone Cold for Christmas in the Nassau Coliseum because Stone Cold said so.
Indeed, Stone Cold Steve Austin will be a part of Live Raw is War, Nassau Coliseum on Monday night, December the 29th. Yes, they make great stocking stuffers, but folks, get your tickets today because James E., they are going fast.
That's right, and it's going to be a night that you're not going to want to miss. Over 40 WWF stars, live TV, bring your signs, anything can happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, for James E. Cornette, I'm Jim Ross, wishing you and yours a happy Thanksgiving.